Namaste, TikTok, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. This is part 2. I don't know if anybody's going to see it. I wanted to go live, but I was afraid to save what I'm going to say. I feel more safe to say it on my channel, on my TikTok 10-minute thing. Okay, so I was talking about Sandy and the visions that I got, the bad dreams, the nightmares, and the word I kept hearing was tsunami. And I am not saying that I am going to be 100% correct or any way, shape, or form correct. I'm just here. I did the dowsing rods. I've been doing my letter cards. Okay. I've been writing down information for hours because I care about people and I care about people being safe. And I wish I would have listened to myself and had more confidence in myself years ago. Okay, so everybody knows people in Florida, everybody knows people in Georgia, people in North Carolina, South Carolina. So I'm going to take a risk, and this is for entertainment reasons. This is what I got. Not that I don't believe in myself. I do believe in myself wholeheartedly. But this is what I got psychically. Okay. And I need a piece of Palo Santo, but I don't have it in here. Oh, it's white sage. Okay. I'm burning white sage. I'm burning Palo Santo and white sage. So let's just get a little something. And you might be saying, well, don't do it now because just finish with your thought. Okay, so I'll try to finish with my thought. People who aren't evacuating, I don't want to get you scared, but I really believe you should evacuate. Even if nobody told you to evacuate. Nobody told me to evacuate. But I went to go to the opposite end of town that was supposed to be in a good spot, and it ended up not being a good spot anyhow. So when I did the dowsing rods and my cards and my psychic intuition, I felt Jacksonville around, this is what I saw. I saw the Cape of, you know how Florida is like a boot, okay? I saw that. And that's why I probably should have done this as a live. See how it comes down, right? This is the area that I see. The the area that's over by the Gulf of Mexico, but then also the Atlantic Ocean. So like a band, and I'm not a meteorologist, okay? Just psychically feeling, okay, when I talk to my guides. So not only this part, and I'll give you specifics. I will give you specific places. And this is just according to me and my guides, okay? You could take it or you could throw it away, okay? But I felt like the Gulf of Mexico, not really the tip, but the tip is not safe. The tip of Florida is not safe. Because like a lot of people were just saying, oh, just Tampa, just Tampa. But I didn't feel like the tip was safe either because the water will engulf like a band. It'll not just be from the Gulf of Mexico, it'll also be the water from the Atlantic Ocean. Like almost like there was a spin. And you know how think of this. You take a couple of rubber bands and you put it around. This is what they're showing me in the spirit world. They're taking a couple of rubber bands and you put it around the middle. Okay, what happens is it'll make the water that's around the middle, excess, go down to the tip. Okay, so don't worry. I'll get more specific. Just keep this in mind. All right? And I'm geographically challenged. So it's very hard for me because being geographically challenged, I always get lost. I've been to Florida several times, and it's pretty flat, Florida. But I did my dowsing rods which is ironic because dowsing rods were meant to find where water will be, areas of water. Anyway, I used it for my yes and no questions. And I also used my cards that have just letters on them. Okay? And then just, of course, I did it like a psychic reading. So what I want to say is, real quick from my notes that I have written. Okay, so let me just be specific. Think of those rubber bands. So of course the Gulf Coast water coming in from there, the Gulf of Mexico, and then of course somehow the water, going underneath and then going around. So underneath and around. So there's a whirlpool. That's what they're showing me, a whirlpool. Okay. And what I felt was affected, and I checked everything out, with the dowsing rods and what I thought from spirit. So just to be on the safe side, Sanibel, and I might not be saying this correctly, but Sanibel and Sarasota, Kissimmee, Key West, of course, Spring Hill. From Spring Hill, I felt very strongly about this. Spring Hill all the way to Merritt Island. So that's all the way across. And you might say, well, Merritt Island is over by the Atlantic Ocean, so they're safe. No, I felt like somehow there's the vibration and the rubber band effect. Okay, so Spring Hill to Merritt Island. Seaford, and again, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Seaford to Titusville. Like, evacuate from these areas if you can. Get safe, be safe. Yeah. And a lot of people say, Kissimmee is fine, Key West is fine. If you're asking me as a psychic medium, and of course I'm not God, and I'm not a meteorologist, I could be wrong, but just from somebody who has been in a storm and who has had psychic abilities for 50 years or so, or longer. Okay, DeSoto, I felt hot on that. Defy-me, Destin, Daytona, and Davenport. And I got letters, so I had to look everything up and re-ask the dowsing rods. It took a long time, but they told me, my guides told me, get on it now, forever who sees this. And again, I didn't want to go on the live because on the live you have so much energy thrown at you, and then they might say, why are you making everybody upset? So I'm hoping to get this out. I'm going to say a prayer after this so I can so somebody will watch the videos. Anyhow, so Sanibel, Sarasota, Kissimmee, Key West, Spring Hill, all the way to Merritt Island. So all the way across. Like if you start at Spring Hill, which is on the left, I guess, and then go all the way across to Merritt Island. I felt hot on that. Titusville, Seaford, damage in Orlando, but maybe Orlando will be okay. Xavier and Xanadu. I did get X, and I didn't even know about these places. Yeah. And I think they said Miami should be okay, but remember what I said about putting rubber bands on that top area, the water's going to come down, and also there's waves coming in from the Gulf, waves coming in from the Atlantic Ocean, from vibrations. There's a vibration. I see it in my head so clearly. And this is going to end, but yeah, so I would evacuate. And I did hear something about Jacksonville, and I did get J twice, but I know people are saying, oh, Jacksonville's fine, but please just be careful. Quincy, that came out. First the Q came out, and then I researched it, and Quincy I got twice. Naples, Newport Richey, and some of these places I'm saying for the first time in my life. Newport Richey, St. Petersburg, Newport Richey Gulf. Okay,